Hey guys, this is the fifth video, and in this video we are going to learn JSX. In the last video we have learned something about JSX but not in the deep. So in this video I'll be explaining you the deepest part of JSX. So let me just explain you what is JSX. As I told you already, JSX is the JavaScript XML version. Okay, and this JSX basically will help us to render the HTML part for the React component. So when you're talking about some class based component, then you can see render function. Inside the render we will have a return function, and inside of return function we have all HTML. So handling HTML directly, it's a very tough thing, okay, because you cannot write dynamic logic there. And when I'm saying dynamic logic is nothing but JavaScript code. You cannot write that, right, in proper HTML. But using JSX we can do that. Using JSX we can do that. How? I'll be explaining you in 2 to 3 minutes, okay. So in overall we can say we have seen few components like class based component, also the function based component. If you haven't seen that, let me just create for you quickly. React class based component. Okay, this is class based component where you can see export default class is the keyword which basically indicates this is the class component. Also we can see this render function which is not there inside the functional based component. Functional component meaning that we have a function, okay, and it will return some HTML. And now we cannot say HTML because in React we used to use this JSX part. So you can say this is the JSX part which we are returning from the functional component, and here we have to use render function because always function can return something, right? So render function basically will return something, and this render function will basically under inside this app class. Okay, so overall app is returning something, right? App class returning something with the help of render function, but here this app itself is a function, so it will return directly some JSX. Okay, let me delete this part because we are not going to more work on this class based component. Definitely we will be understanding class based component also along with that. Okay, so in overall I can say we are going to write some standard HTML where we can use some JavaScript also. Okay, so let me explain you by writing some HTML file. Let's say temp.html. okay, so okay, so here what you can do inside the div, right, you can write some text like hey, this is Muo Sigma Classes. Okay, but if you want to do dynamic rendering, you cannot do that here, right? You cannot do that. You cannot create some logic here by using open and close curly braces. You cannot write that conditions over here, and on the basis of condition you cannot render the div or the UI, right? It's not possible in normal plain HTML, but it is possible in component, in React component where you are using JSX. You can see this one, right? Okay, let me delete for you and I'll be creating again for you. Okay, and hey there, this is Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes. Okay, and let's say if Piyush true or false. Okay, if not Piyush, I'll be rendering something called hey there, this is not Piyush something. Okay, from Muo Sigma Classes. Okay, something like that. Okay, but you can see, right, in JSX we have to wrap all the stuff, right, which you're writing for UI, right, which you have to wrap into some parent element. It can be a fragment, it can be any div, it can be anything, right, but it should be a parent element. We should wrap inside the parent element, And if you will see what I can say, the UI, but right now we are getting some problem, right? Okay, we have to export default also. Export default. Okay, now you can see this this UI, right? This UI. Hey there, this is Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes, and hey there, this is not Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes. So now this is basically rendering both of the text, right? And also if you want to use div, you can use div. Okay, save the file. Okay, you can see, right? This is the actual content. Okay, and if you want to use some paragraph tag, you can use always any parent tag, as I am explaining you. See, okay, this is also working. Okay, so if you are using paragraph tag, right, so automatically the default property of the parent element will apply on the child component. If you want to specify directly some additional style for the child element, you can do that. Okay, so for now I'm just keeping it a fragment over here. Okay, cool. Okay, now what I want to distinguish, I want to use particular content, or you can say the particular text on the basis of conditions. So how you can do that in JSX? You can just open and close curly braces. Inside the curly braces, you can write your JavaScript conditions. So I have created this condition, right? If Piyush true, then I want to render this one. Otherwise, I want to render this one. So this is conditional rendering. This is called conditional rendering. Okay, this is called conditional rendering. So if Piyush is true, we'll be presenting with this. So we'll be presented with this. Otherwise this. Okay, let me see this. Hey there, this is Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes. Because this, if Piyush is true, if I'll make it false, you can see the next content, not Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes. So this is called conditional rendering. So this is nothing but if and else. Instead of if and else, we are using some ternary operation over here. Okay, now if you want to give some styles to the text, how you can give that? Let's say class name is, let's say title. Okay, so title. Okay, so this title style you can write over here in CSS file dot title. Let's say font size large, and font color, or directly if you write color, let's say this black will be the default one, I know. Let's say give some other color, let's say brown. Okay, save this file. Okay, and if you will see here, we can't see any of the style changes over here, because right now this conditional rendering, as per the conditional rendering, this if Piyush is false, so meaning that this is rendering. Okay, so what you can do, you can just make a true for now. Okay, so you can see, right, font size is big now, it's a large one, and the color is also brown. So if you have defined some style property for this title, you can reuse this in the next title also. This is the one. If you'll make false also, now the property will apply over here also. See? Okay, so this is very simple. By defining one class name, also you can use multiple time in a single component. Also, if you want to use in a different component, you can use that. So this is again a different benefit, but this benefit you can utilize in normal HTML also. So this is not at all a big achievement over here when you are using JSX instead of using direct HTML. But let's say you don't want to define class name over here, you just want to define some style. Okay, and you want to do some inline styling. So of course here you can do that. Let me make it true, and color, let's say I'm defining for now pink. Okay, you can see this pink color is applying. Okay, but if you want to remove the style from here, you want to put it here, cons some style, or you can define title style like this, and you have to pass from here. So basically if you'll pass title style here, it will apply into this div. Let me make some other changes. Font size, let's say 100 pixel. Okay, see here, there, this is Piyush Bajpayee from Muo Sigma Classes. Okay, so basically storing into a variable, and you can pass that variable as a style variable inside the style props in div. This is also possible in JSX. So now you're good to go with this JSX part. So you can write your own custom React component, and you can write some conditions also now, because you have seen, right, the ternary conditions, the style, and you can write the style into CSS, you can write inline style, and also you can write the styles inside the function itself, and you can use that by passing a variable name. Along with that, if let's say I want to comment few things inside the JSX, you can do that. Like similarly in HTML, right, you can do that, right? But in JSX, so how you can make a comment? So let's say if I'll make something called a paragraph tag. Hey, I am paragraph. Okay, so if you'll see here, hey, I am paragraph, but you don't want this paragraph for now. You want to keep this code in your file, but you don't want to use for now. So you will make this comment out with this forward slash and asterisk. Okay, see, this code is not coming, but this is in your file now. So using this, basically you can make a comment. Okay, but see, we have two kind of comments over here. One is this way. Okay, this is called multi-line command. Multi-line comment. So this is called multi-line comment. Okay, when you want single line comment, this is also simple. You can just use these two forward slash, and simply you can write anything. This is inline comment. Okay, this inline comment you cannot use in JSX. If you will use, it will not work. You can use this inline comment outside of the JSX. Let's say if you want to use some const, okay, temp false, but for now you are not utilizing this, so you can make comment like this. Okay, cool. So this is the comment type also, you can see, right? You can use single line and multi-line also. So this is it for this particular video for the JSX. I'm sure you guys are good to go for the JSX part. I hope you guys will learn a lot of things in the upcoming subsequent tutorials. Till then, be safe, be happy, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed my channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.